Alright, welcome in everyone to A Programmer Plays Auridia. I think that's how we're going to pronounce it, Auridia. This is an indie game made by Northspore Games, or Reed. Oh, I've forgotten his last name. Solo dev project. And that's about the extent of what I know about this game, other than it doesn't really have a combat focus, which I thought would be a nice contrast to the Nine Souls that we've been playing recently. So, yeah, let's just dive right in. Blind playthrough, new game, go! As a child, you heard stories of your grandfather, a restless man who sailed uncharted seas and met strange peoples. He left accounts of all his journeys, save his last, for he never returned. Years later, you happen upon some strange notes of his, unfamiliar symbols, alien phonetics, sketches of stone galleries and titanic palaces, and a map leading deep beneath the earth. An obsession takes hold. Some nights you fall asleep staring at the drawings and dream of walking the corridors of that deserted city. You resolve to see it for yourself. With a cloak and a torch, you follow in your grandfather's footsteps. He is long gone, but something of him must remain, a journal, a discovery. Perhaps only his bones. Whatever it may be, Auridia awaits. Alright, and we're in it. Walk. Can pause. Yep. System. I'm gonna lower the volume because it seems it might be a little bit high. Alright. I think that thing's just permanent. Oh. Oh no. Alright, creature did stop, so that's a good sign. The Lost City of Auridia, a book that describes an underground city of white gold, where wisdom flows like water and the poor live like kings. Heavy on illustrations, light on evidence, but the former has always done a better job capturing the imagination. Collecting artifacts. Throughout Auridia, you will find artifacts left by those who came before you. While these will not directly help you explore, you may find uses for some of them. Open the pause menu to see your inventory. Alright, so we've got our map. We found an artifact. On the right, we've got our torch. And, ooh, nicely detailed little map. It very clearly using the camera to paint on. That's fun. Status, I like this. Some straight up numbers. You know what? I appreciate some numbers. Gnosis. And we've got, I appreciate that it says unknown ability and doesn't like spoil anything for us. Sealed approach. Impatient note. A marker has been added to your map. Found a hidden recess above some ruins. I'm going to investigate. Maybe it leads somewhere and we don't need to do all this digging. Your map. Everywhere you explore is recorded on your map. Some notes, like the one you just found, will add markers to your map. You can add markers of your own with A. Okay. Cool. Hidden recess. Very cool. And we can just plop notes down here, pull them back off. Is there a limit to how many? Can we zoom? Excellent. All right. Okay. Okay. Marble statue. An inscription at the base has been ground away and replaced with a shorter one in many languages. Auridia is no more. The gate is sealed. Leave this place. Ah, secrets. Alright. Fair. But let's... Alright, so it looks like they did leave a little marker thing there for me, just in case. I'm going to put another one there. That feels like the kind of thing I might forget. Stone gate. 2 sheets of rock form the door that stands between you and the city of white gold. You see no handle, lever, or other mechanism to open it. Stone slab doesn't budge. You might as well be pushing against the cave walls. Alright. Cool. Let's go down then. Let's descend deeper. Interesting that there's a fair amount of lag, I would say, with the clearly something there. Do we think... Alright, we're gonna try something. I might regret this, but... If the creature is burning, can I walk past it? Yes. Grappling hook while airborne, right trigger to throw your grappling hook at the indicated target. A sturdy hook fastened to a rope used to swing across chasms. This one belonged to a member of a lost expedition. Alright. We don't need this anymore. That chainable? Yes. Wow, that's actually pretty solid movement. Astronomer's Mantle, Gossamer Veil, awarded to scholars who find secrets in far-off realms. One such Auridian discovered the truth of the ancient shrines and left the academy to light them. Those who do not return from the cosmos are presumed trapped, but perhaps they simply need to be shown the way home. Alright, cool. Definitely seeing some movement tech options with with that, because it very quickly turns faster. Hey, don't touch those. What up, Fallen? How's it going? Hope you're having a good one. Ooh. Friend of the spirits, light a shrine. Might be getting screwed again for surgery. Oh, that sucks, dude. I hate to hear that. The Lost City. Find your way into Auridia. Agora. Alright. Door. I'm assuming I can't touch this purpley stuff. Hello. Snorri, the Wanderer. Ah, Snorri. Goodness me, a fellow traveler. How lucky I am to have run into you. It gets awfully lonely down here. But where are my manners? My name is Snorri. I am a historian. I travel far and wide to collect artifacts and document histories. Where are we? Why, the fabled city of Auridia. Stories from centuries ago tell of Auridian merchants who sold intricate gold finery. Strange creatures they were, many-legged things who bore enormous shells on their backs. But there are no modern records of such a place. It is as if the Auridians simply vanished. Most of my colleagues told me I was chasing a fairy tale, and yet here we stand. I intend to write a definitive history of the place and share it with the surface. Of course, it will need to be backed by evidence. If you find any artifacts, you could help me with my research. I need all the help I can get. Tell me more about this place. I could talk about it all day. What would you like to know? Oh boy, this conversation tree is actually significantly larger than I expected. Where were we again? Okay, that loops around. Why are you here? I am a historian. I travel far and wide, collecting artifacts and documenting histories. This has been my most ambitious expedition so far, and I have no doubt the book I write will be my magnum opus. How are you surviving? I pop down to my Auridia below every so often to find some food. The mushrooms are a bit bland, but I've lived off worse, and the occasional beetle adds some variety. I appreciate that this text that we're focused on is highlighted, of course, but this text that we've already read is grayed out. And then text that we haven't read yet is lighter. And there's even in the cursor, there's a color difference. Lighter green, darker green. You know, it's hard to say. There's no sun after all. I would guess 10 days, 20? No point keeping count when there's so much left to learn. I have other questions. What are they? How can I help with your research? Thought you'd never ask. My book will cover all sorts of things, and I have precious little evidence. If you could bring me artifacts that relate to the topics I'm writing about, I'd be grateful. I don't have much in the way of payment, I'm afraid. Then again, what use is coin in a place like this? Tell you what, I'm learning all sorts of things from these tablets. I'm happy to share anything I find with you. And if you help me enough, I'll credit you in the book. I can hardly think of a better wage than that. What are you writing about? I'm starting with the basics. What has already been written about Auridia? Bring me something that was written on the surface about this place. What rumors do they tell? I have writing from the surface about Auridia. What has already been written about Auridia? One-on-one, confirmed. Thank you, this is just what I needed. It is as I suspected. What we have on the surface is unsubstantiated, secondhand rubbish. I will write the first authentic account of this place. Because of this contribution, I'll be sure to mention you in my footnotes. I also have something that may interest you. Earlier, I came across a series of most extraordinary symbols, unlike anything I've seen. They are not of the Auridian language, nor are they images of someone's likeness, just mesmerizing patterns. The scholars wrote a great deal on the subject of dreams, and the icons they would meditate on to shape them. If I'm not mistaken, I have found some of these very icons. I'm not quite sure how to make use of them. I've meditated on them myself and got nowhere. They're quite beautiful, though. In any case, I wanted to share one with you. I can't give you the actual tablet, of course. It wouldn't do to have a historical document jostling around as you adventure. But I took a rubbing using some parchment and charcoal. Here, take it. You have received the brilliant icon. It's weird, just wishing him and Kim the best, yeah. Now I'm working on a chapter about Auridian craftsmanship. Their signature technique was cultivation. Very little was carved or assembled. Instead, they shaped living things and infused them with gold. I would like to see 2 artifacts made this way. Also, I would like to learn more about the serfs. The city was built on their labor, and yet they are barely mentioned in Auridian writing. Bring me 4 artifacts that tell their stories. Ooh, okay. Let's talk about something else. Have you seen anyone else here? I wish that were the case, but no, I've not seen a living soul since I left the surface. I'm afraid I cannot say the same about the dead. Only a day or 2 ago, I wandered through a great green cavern directly below us. Thought I saw the remains of some travelers, although I dare not look too closely. Alright, I'm gonna conclude it there, because I get the feeling that there's just a lot of dialogue to churn through, and we'll come back. Brilliant icon. When active, increases the radius of your torch. Charcoal rubbing taken of an Auridian tablet, showing a geometric pattern. When used with the proper rite, the pattern will cultivate a powerful dream. Ooh, okay. Do I equip that just anywhere? So when you're selling this, appears to be cut from a large dried out mushroom. A message is written in dark ink with elegant penmanship. Snorri's Gallery of Wonders, marvel at curiosities from across Auridia. Crystal out of the Auridian mines. They're gathered by the thousands. I saw much larger ones at the bottom of the mine shaft east of here. I'd like to get a closer look. The lift seems to be out of order. Okay, interesting. Look at this masterpiece, a model of the cosmos. Even with nothing but stones over their heads, the Auridians yearned for the stars, or at least their conception of them. Found this by the collapsed bridge over the mine. Beyond it lies the academy. That was the seat of Auridian power. There the scholars pursued cosmic truth. They called it gnosis, an unvarnished, pure understanding of reality. I would like to see the insides of that place someday. For now, I content myself with orrery. This specimen was taken from Mycoria. It is a veritable jungle of mushrooms. It lies beneath our very feet. Marble dais, carved with ridges, spirals, and bumps that form the Auridian language. Crystals dance and weave about it. You cannot be sure, but you think they move in time with your heartbeat. You feel as though you are being watched. Perform a rite. You approach the altar. What rite will you perform? Grandfather's rite. Retrieve the instructions from your grandfather's... You retrieve the instructions your grandfather transcribed. You carefully pronounce the syllables written there. You trace the shapes on the altar surface. Soft buzz forms in the back of your head as you reach out to a prisoner in another realm. The buzz groans into a faint voice. You are different. What have you done with your companion? No, that is of no consequence. I offer the same terms. Release me, and I will share knowledge beyond your imagination. Release me, and I will restore Auridia. Alas, you can see too little. Deepen your gnosis. Speak with the gods. Secure their assistance. The voice quiets, and the buzzing fades. You regain your bearings. Alright. So grandfather was dealing with Lovecraftian gods. I haven't the foggiest idea of what this is. The only thing I've learned about it, you oughtn't touch it. I almost stepped in it by accident and have a hole in my boot to show for it. Alas, this is not where I would like to place an exhibit. I see no way to move this caustic blight. I cannot bring the specimen to the gallery. The gallery must come to the specimen. Okay. Door. Down we go. Chiron's Mine. Wrought iron lever attached to a system of gears is locked in place. White crystal, a gemstone that splits light into many colors. Those who follow that which trembles learn to focus light as a power source. All Auridians come to rely on crystals like these. That made the business of mining them a lucrative one indeed. Offer at the altar to that which trembles. Nope. Okay. That will get used later, presumably. Bombs. Cool. Love it. Alright. That's just me being impatient. I'm assuming, yeah, this pops us out right here. Cool. Loops right around. Oh, looks like there's potentially something there. Can I? Yes. An Auridian pearl, an iridescent gem the size of your fist. Pearl formations used to be a rare and sacred omen until the Auridians discovered how to induce the process. After that, they fed molten gold into their growing shells. The pearls that formed bore patterns no hand could design. Cool. Oops. I'm all but certain that I can, double jump into that, but you don't have double jump. Ooh, bounce. Fun. This game started out a little louder than I wanted, but now it feels quiet. Feels totally doable, but I am bungling it. We'll come back to you. On the map. I'm digging this map so far. Do we think... Yeah, we can totally swing that. Yeah, swing that. Alright. Pick up climbing gear up and down next to a wall to climb it. Climbing upwards uses stamina. An old leather knapsack containing wrought iron pitons, rope, and small hammer. A necessity for those who want to reach the far corners of the earth. Yeah! Look at us go! Wall jumping does not lower your stamina. I see. Very good. It's locked. Alright. Well, in that case... I wasn't expecting to get an ability that would be relevant to this part just so immediately. Living Mantle, a luminous veil worn by Auridian poets who told stories with ecstatic dances and uncanny shadows. The material is woven from gold threads and the stalks of large insects whose lures create an otherworldly glow. We're not sure if it ever stops moving. Alright. 3AS? Do we want to call it that? And we're going to keep going down. I see. Okay. That runs mine. Alright, so that's busted. Desperate note. I don't know who will read this or why write it at all. Have it, I suppose. Our expedition has dispersed and I am alone. I may die here. I pray, but I fear my gods cannot hear me so far underground. The Auridians worship deities too. Perhaps I'll try them. Okay. Playing with fire. Damage yourself with your own bomb. Ooh, okay. This is what I call the 3 symbol. Gold crystal, richly adorned crystal traced with gold inlay. The deities were originally kept a secret, but such knowledge can't be hidden forever. Chiron was among the first to learn of the energy god, and quickly agreed to terms with it. Offered an altar to that which trembles. Or die studded with crystals, gold-threaded wax spreads across it. As you watch, ripples form, dissipate, and reform on the surface in an endless cycle. As you approach, you begin to shiver. Something is watching you, and you don't know what. Alright, so we are... somewhat short on rights that we know. Do we think that there's a way that we can, like... Feels like we ought to be able to grab that, but, you know, perhaps later. Whoa! Rite of communion, that which trembles. Incantations, gestures, sigils. These are the tools needed to speak with the god. This animal skin scroll bears no ink. It shares the rite's method through bumps and ridges. Offer 4 crystals to that which trembles and receive its favor. Okay, that did not work. Crystal stained with the dried blood. It smells faintly of copper. The serfs rinsed the sharp crystals they pried out of the mines, but the occasional blue one did make it out to Theopolis. An indicator of rarity, Chiron would say. Offer at the altar to that which trembles. I can feel myself getting tongue-tied. Okay. If anything, we've made this harder. Fair enough. Whee! Glass eye. Second sight, deepens gnosis. The astronomers removed their eyes so that they could see further. The ritual was forbidden to serfs, so Sophia fashioned an eye of crystal to hide the scar. The eye saw as much as she did. Hello? Foreign textbook, a leather-bound volume that once belonged to a trader. Whether it was left willingly or taken by force is hard to say. While the book's language was unfamiliar, Sophia studied illustrations of the cosmic realms intensely. The knowledge she gained was instrumental to her future schemes. Okay. Ooh, okay. Is there secret things that we can smack to, ooh, Jesus, that is a long fall. Black crystal. A crystal that barely produces a reflection. Its eerie darkness has a mesmerizing quality. Their propensity to trap light makes the crystals like these useless as energy sources. Nonetheless, the Academy scholars paid handsomely for them. I do kind of want to go back up. Uh, 3ST on that one. Interesting. Shit. Three. Huh? So there's apparently like a pattern of you can see a little thing and then destroy it. I am all for. That is fun. I enjoy that. Yeah. Get out of here. Somewhere, an elevator hums to life. So we're definitely getting like a something, right? That, will let us, like, knock the bombs. The lever slides easily. Where do you want to move it? An iron lever is fixed to a vertical track with 4 positions. It currently sits at position 2. Okay, so 1 is down. Oh, hold on. You're here. Finally, the elevator is working. Did you do that? I've wanted to see this mine since I arrived. I don't think I'll ever tire of looking at these crystals. They're magnificent. Did you see the, another altar? It looks just like the one in Agora. Infused with gold. You and you, right? Look at these. I've never seen anything like it. This is exactly what I was looking for. Give me your help. I'll include your name in the book's acknowledgments. I also took a rubbing at another one of these icons. Here it is. Tenacious icon. What happened to the Auridians? The best way to unravel a mystery is to follow the leads. And I have two. I'd like you to investigate each one. The first one is related to the serfs. I read about one named Sophia the Betrayer. If I'm to understand the text correctly, she was imprisoned in a rather unusual way. She was bound inside an altar. Serfs are seldom written about, let alone named. Sophia must have done something extraordinary. What could it be? I'd like to see 4 pieces of evidence that tell us what she was up to. The second lead relates to this caustic substance we see everywhere. I call it the Violet Blight. It's not mentioned in any writing, which makes me think it emerged after Auridia's fall, or perhaps just before, and it certainly seems to have consumed the city. See if you can perhaps find 2 specimens I can study. It's too dangerous to handle directly, but perhaps you can find something infused with it, or maybe just render it inert. Alright. What do you know about that altar? Oh, only that it holds great significance. At altars like this one, Auridians performed rites, sacred rites that the scholars dedicated their lives to discovering. Oh. Cool. I should have known that that was a thing. Run your fingers over the scroll you found. Everything clicks into place. Waiting behind the crystals with frenetic anticipation is that which trembles. You watch yourself carry out the rite. Symbols are carved into the wax. Names are spoken. As you perform the arcane ritual, an electric charge fills the air. A deity has been awoken. Scatter the 4 crystals you collected across the wax, and their colors fade. After a few moments, the wax begins to sizzle and pop. Your material offering has been accepted. Now you must make a pledge of vitality. Your body is too frail to be of use, but you can offer the spirits that follow you. Oh, okay. The spirits that follow us. Is that... Y'all can't see it. This 12 that I've got. Offer 10 spirits. The spirits you guided are loyal to you, but do not protest as you trade them away. You have given up 10 spirits. You place your hand on the sizzling wax, and arcs of lighting burn a rune onto the skin. As the scar cools, your patron fulfills their contract. Spooky. Kinesis. Hold left trigger to pull an object towards you. Aim and then release to throw. Those who pledge themselves to that which trembles can launch objects with unnatural force. You bear the scars, proof of your devotion. Amidst the fall, every resident took up the brand, citizen and serf alike. Perfect. Very cool. Oh, interesting. Okay. Nope. Bombing plans, diagrams made as part of an aborted plan to take control of Chiron's mind. The executed serfs were the first lives Sophia was directly responsible for. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Okay, so I need to use you. That running. So that I can use you. That. Interesting that the time doesn't freeze when we're aiming. Cracked pearl. A fragile pearl infused with crystal is fractured as its owner was smashed to bits. Some miners used the chaos of Auridia's fall to take vengeance against their overlord. The attack proved to be a mercy. Chiron's consciousness ended along with his life. The cognivore's prey had no such luck. Really threaded the needle on not surviving that. No. Shit. How much stamina? I appreciate that there's no health. Like, it makes the game a chill experience. Okay. Okay. Corrupted pearl, hideous gem that pulsates malignantly. Your fingers are left slightly numb after touching it. The cognivore's victims lost all memory as they changed, but some still held their pearls dear. Hold on. Hard to tell, like, if that's like a vulnerability that I'm spotting or what. Cool. Very cool. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nice. Cool. I'm having a grand old time. Okay. Find a way to destroy a crawler. Interesting that doesn't, that one doesn't seem to want to let me grab it. There we go. What up, Spud? How's it going? Summoned by Chivo Boop. Doing a real bad job of getting that final little bit there. I think I've kind of screwed myself with this thing. There we go. Jesus, I don't know why that was so hard. Cave mold? Pile of mold scraped up the wall. Still damp. Serfs bound to the mines gave Chiron the crystals they gathered in exchange for food. Sophia saved them instead and ate whatever she could find on her own. Some find dignity through independence, no matter the consequences. There we go. Falling into pits is prohibited. True. Okay. We might not be able... I don't think we can progress here from this direction. I think we're gonna have to enter that area from another direction, which is okay. We've got loads of options. Feeling pretty good about this bit. This bit over here, though. Donk. My knees. I need a drop for that one. You can do that. Whoa. No, thank you. Classroom inscription. Behind a stone pulpit, you see a long inscription. Instead of characters, they are only textured bumps and waves. Touch the inscription. Your fingers begin to tingle. Uh-oh. And words start to form in your mind. The inscription tells a Greek fable. Read the fable. There is a human society on the surface whose members spend their entire lives sitting in front of a wall. Those humans watch shadows move on a wall, but never think to ask what casts them. One day, a human stands and turns around. He sees the flame that lights the wall. He sees strange creatures dancing in its light, casting the shadows that comprise his entire world. This human has glimpsed truth. He begins to acquire gnosis. The story does not have a happy ending. The human shares what he has learned with his brethren. His brethren are simple, fearful people. They do not understand what he says. They stone him to death. Classic. Mirror sensor. You may meditate on one more icon. An incense burner filled with resin from the surface. Its owner must have been rich indeed. The mind is a malleable thing. In some sense, can expand it. A dangerous proposition, since there's no telling what will occupy newly made space. Okay. worth attempting. I get the impression that we're probably going to get some pretty interesting mobility stuff. Far not finding any additional little bits that we can set aflame here. That's okay. Oh, did not mean to jump, meant to drop. Let's actually run past here. Because I want to drop down and get that spirit bit. No telling how much the next one will cost me. There we go. So that brings us up to 17. Excellent. Actually... Come on. Go this way. There we go. Okay. I was overthinking that. Esoteric texts, rumors of subterranean city recorded by members of a heretical sect. Some believe that we can only be saved through knowledge of a hidden divinity. This sect heard the creatures existed who had not only found the divine, but spoken with it. And so the true believers dug underground in search of salvation. Matching research complete. Okay. Exotic amber, a glassy shard. Iridescent purple shines along the sharp edges while its center is pitch black, formed by exposing a caustic resin to extreme heat, rendering it harmless. Okay. Looks to me like we're going to have to lower the lava level a bit or something. So there's clearly stuff going on down there that we can check out. Onwards. Do I think I can live with that? Yes. Enough. Alright, so we just went straight up here previously. So there was a something. Ah, I see. Feels like there might be something going on here. Oh, no. I can clearly see the bit there. Shouldn't have done that. Goodness, I'm very glad that this game does not have health, because it lets me be real sloppy with my everything. Okay. You think I need to... Like so? Yeah. I very much enjoy a neat little puzzle. Give me a room with a simple, like, hey, here's the thing, figure it out, and then you do it and then you get a little prize. Love that. Goo was imported from Mount Celeste. Violet fungus, a tough, leathery mushroom born of a substrate that would have killed most life. Purple filament runs up its stalk. The light around it bends oddly, making it hard to judge where it is. On the surface, spots seem to form and disappear. Just another trick of the light. Alright, so we have not gone this way at all, and there's stuff here. Rite of incubation, a thin stone tablet covered in tessellated pattern used to meditate by those who sneak gnosis. This rite sculpts the mind and invites dreams to take root. Place the icon on the altar and open your mind to them. Expedition plan. A marker has been added to your map. A note written in your grandfather's hand. The answers I seek lie in the old capital further below. I must go there. Do not follow. Move the camp away from the altar. Even in its current state, it can fascinate. Okay. Stone slab, cracked and broken. Fibrous cables twist about it, and mushrooms sprout from the cracks. Only spores hover about the deity. This altar honored left. The deity this altar honored left long ago. The incense allows you to meditate more deeply. You may place 2 icons on the altar. Gaze at the charcoal symbols. Your eyes relax their focus, and patterns emerge. Patterns within patterns within patterns, referencing each other in a beautiful harmony. You hear the patterns. You feel them crawl through your thoughts, organizing them. Time passes. You stir from your reverie. As awareness returns, you realize you were dreaming, although you forgot precisely what you were dreaming about. But something lingers. You are different now. Cool. Whoa. Alright. That's a ways. Whoa, big turtle. What up, bud? Unnamed creature. What have we here? Greetings, little one. Who are you? What a question is, with many answers. Which one would you like? What is your name? I do not recall being given one, although many creatures have called me many things. One I especially liked was Erd. How do you spend your time? I watch, I wait. In times past, I have done many things. In this age, I look after the dead. They don't talk much, but then again, neither do I. They're good company to keep. You can look after them too, if you like. How can I look after the dead? For most of us, death is an end, but some are not so fortunate. Some consciousness becomes lost in other realms, forever aware yet unable to act. Shrines like the ones behind you can guide those lost spirits, and I can lay them to rest. Light the shrines and lead the spirits back to me. You'll be doing me a favor, for I am not as nimble as you. In exchange, I can lend you some of my strength. Since you already guided many, I'll lay them to rest. In exchange, take this. Your stamina has increased, and 10 spirits have been laid to rest. What else would you like to discuss? Ooh, can I do it again? 25, so behind me, 25/15. You have done well. I will lay these souls to rest. Here, take some of my strength. Put it to good use. Your stamina has increased and 15 spirits have been laid to rest. Now we say 10/20. Cool. What happened here? You were full of questions, little one, with all too many answers. What happened here? Structures have risen and fallen. Lives have come and gone. The very stone on which you stand has formed, while other things come before that. But I do not pretend to misunderstand your question. No doubt you are asking about what happened to the Auridians, those shelled creatures who last called this place home. They died. There's little more to say. How did they die? Do not trouble yourself with such things. What's past is past. If you need to occupy your time, why not occupy it with something helpful? Care to the dead with me. Let's talk about something like that. Tell me more about the old capital. It is a monument to the hubris of the Auridians. The city lies west of here, past the lower regions of this forest. Go there, see what becomes of the search for more. Prosperity is temporary, but ruin is not. Cool. 2 upgrades to our stamina. I will happily take it. And that right there, I think, was a mild stamina check. Celeste. Nope. Nope. Ooh, conservation of momentum. Reach terminal velocity with the grappling hook. Very cool. Somewhere a door has opened. Do we think that those bomb-throwing creatures are potentially killable with throwing some bombs of my own? Maybe. A question for another day. YouTube, I think I'm going to leave it off here. This seems like a place to end this episode. Next episode, we'll just pick up right here. So, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!